Joining me now to assess all of this, Fox News contributor Eboni Williams, Republican strategist, Fox News contributor Tony Sayegh. Good to have you here. Cathy, Lynn Taylor rejoining us, and good to have you all here.
Hello.
Eboni, your reaction to I thought it was not exactly a generous view of America that is the message of Mrs. Clinton.
Right. Well, you know, certainly this was a good night for her, Lou. She had to have this kind of night at this point in the campaign. Otherwise, it would have been, oh, absolutely. Certainly a win, and not an awkward one like she had in Iowa. You know, I agree. It's kind of a similar message to me that we heard in 2008, the 40,000 cracks in the glass ceiling around women, this kind of oppressive, marginalized message that she works with. I don't know if it works, because we saw in 2008 people went with hope and change as opposed to the 40,000 cracks. And so certainly, you know, Bernie Sanders made some inroads in Nevada. No one can dispute that, but he just didn't get there enough. So the question to me moving forward, does he have the time to kind of close these gaps that he's still got, obviously, with African-American voters and certainly with older voters in the base?
Tony, your thoughts? I mean, I don't know how far this message goes. It obviously works in the Democratic Party. I'm not sure the nation is ready for more of this "we're awful people" stuff, we Americans, but perhaps I'm utterly wrong.
Well, Hillary Clinton's actually talking about her donors, which are largely those kind of Wall Street tycoons that Bernie Sanders is running this whole campaign against, right? So, look, the fact is, Lou, regardless of this very narrow and unelegant victory by Hillary Clinton in this caucus, which is really on the Democrat side dominated by party figures and party elders, Bernie Sanders is winning the argument. This is not the campaign Hillary Clinton planned to run. She was not going to be the ultra-leftist socialist. She was not going to be the progressive. She was going to be that sensible adult in the room who knew how to take us forward, improve on what Obama started, but give some sort of new Clintonism for this decade, whereas now she's chasing the 74-year-old socialist from everything to caucuses to talking points, and that's what you got tonight.
Cathy, the idea that this, as Tony suggests, I mean, there is in the Clinton DNA, both she and President Clinton, there's the centrist Democratic Leadership Council of 25 years ago.
That's right.
Where has it gone? I mean, Tony's exactly right. It's been pushed aside.
It has, and that's given the ability of someone like Bernie Sanders to rise. She's not speaking to people in a way that they can really relate to, particularly the younger generation, and that's going to be a real challenge, and it has been a real challenge, and she has won, as Tony said, but she didn't win by a lot, and that's very important because this is a state she should have slammed it, and she didn't. So, you know, she has a victory under her belt. She's sounding a little bit more optimistic, but it's still a very disenfranchised message.
If that passes for optimism, I fear for the country. Let's turn to some of the demographics in this, and that is, she lost the Hispanics. Bernie Sanders lost the blacks.
Yes.
This is a contest going into South Carolina primary 1 week distant from now.
Yeah.
What does it portend?
It looks to me, look, Bernie knows that he's got to really increase his likability and name recognition within the black community before a week. He's got one week now left in that opportunity window. I think he can get there to some degree. We will see how far he goes. I think no one has been more surprised, Lou, by his attractiveness than Bernie Sanders himself. And I think had he started this earlier, we would be seeing something different. But he's really kind of late to the game now. But we'll see how much catch-up he can do.
You're keying out on some important questions, Lou. When you look at...
If I get close, I'm over.
I'm telling you right now, you're keyed in on it, which is demographics, and that's the Democrats' formula to success nationally. If you look at the most important growth demographics in the Democratic Party, with all due respect to the African-American community, it's not them. It's young single women who Bernie Sanders is winning. It's young people in general, the millennials, people under 40 who Bernie Sanders is winning. It's people in the lower income brackets who Bernie Sanders is winning with high education rates, who Bernie Sanders is still winning. Hillary Clinton is winning among seniors, rich people, and African Americans. That's the old Democratic model.
Yes, but the challenge of growth doesn't always equate to turnout.
Yes.
And when you look at the voter turnout for these millennial segments, whether it's the African American segment or the Latino segment, it is not particularly great. And so when you look at the Rust Belt and the Sun Belt and the aging population in both those states, Hillary can still carry those. And unless Bernie gets a message that resonates more with those states and the older segment, then she has a little advantage potentially.
All right. Cathy, Lynn Taylor, thank you very much. Eboni Williams, thank you. Tony Sayegh, good to have you here.
Pleasure.
Thanks so much.